Okay, let's dive into this. We've all seen them, right? Those old letters, maybe a journal, or those recipe cards from your grandmother, all written in that beautiful, flowing cursive script. So the big question is, can our super modern artificial intelligence actually figure out what they say? Well, that's what we're here to find out.
So, yeah, let's put it simply. Can a machine really decipher that gorgeous, but let's be honest, sometimes totally baffling handwriting? Can it take a photo of an old letter and spit out clean digital text? You'd think it would be a piece of cake for AI, but the reality is way more complex, and honestly, a lot more interesting.
And look, let's just get right to it. The short answer is yes. AI can read cursive, and sometimes it's shockingly good. But, and you knew there was a but coming, it is nowhere near perfect. The success rate can swing like crazy depending on everything from who wrote it to the quality of the scan. So to really get a handle on that but, we first have to understand why cursive is such a massive headache for computers. And it all boils down to this fantastic analogy, the Lego versus spaghetti problem. This slide just nails it. Think about it. Printed text is super easy for an AI. Every letter is like a separate Lego brick. Neat, distinct, easy to identify. But cursive, oh man, cursive is a big old plate of spaghetti. All the letters are tangled and connected and overlapping. It's a huge challenge for a machine to figure out where one noodle or letter even begins. And here's where we get into the nitty-gritty. With that spaghetti-like cursive, the AI has a tough time with what's called segmentation. That's just a fancy word for figuring out where one letter stops and the next one starts. Then you've got the insane variation. I mean, my A looks nothing like your A, and the AI has to deal with that. It even has to use context, like a detective, to guess what a messy word might be. Okay, so we know it's hard, but what does that mean in the real world? How reliable is this stuff really? This is where we gotta manage our expectations and get a feel for the actual odds of success. So let's get practical. You know, the stakes for digitizing an old family recipe are totally different than for a legal contract. So when can you actually trust what the AI spits out? This is a great way to think about it, like a traffic light. You've pretty much got a green light if you have clean, consistent handwriting on lined paper. Your odds are good. You're in yellow light territory with messier stuff like old class notes or faded documents. But it is a hard red flag, a full stop for anything high stakes, like medical records, names, or legal documents. For those, you absolutely positively need a human to check it. So here's the golden rule, the one thing you have to remember. If the information is important, the AI's transcription is just your first draft. It's not the final truth. It's a tool to get you 90% of the way there, not a replacement for your own eyes. Now that we know the risks, let's pop the hood and look at the actual tools. There are a bunch of different platforms out there, and each one has its own special skills. Here's a quick tour of the big players. For simple, clean picture, something like Google Cloud Vision is a fantastic starting point. If you're dealing with a document that has both printed and handwritten text, Microsoft's Azure Read is a really strong choice. For forms, or times you need to find signatures, Amazon TextTract is built for that. And then you get the heavy hitters. Transcribus is incredible for historians because you can actually train it on one specific person's handwriting. And for the developers out there, there are open source tools like Kraken to build your own custom solutions. You know, one of the coolest features in a lot of these tools is the confidence score. It's basically the AI raising its hand and saying, hey, I'm only like 60% sure about this word. You might want to double check me. It's awesome because it tells you exactly where to focus your attention. But here's the thing. The quality of what you get back isn't all on the AI. You actually have a huge role to play. So let's go over a few simple things you can do to, well, help the AI help you. It all starts with the picture you take. Use nice, even lighting to kill any shadows, and try to keep your phone or scanner flat and parallel to the paper to avoid weird angles. Always go for a higher resolution than you think you need. And here's a big one. Turn off any of those beauty filters. They might be great for selfies, but they can completely erase the faint ink strokes that the AI needs to see. All right, once you have the image, a little cleanup can make a world of difference. Crop out all the extra stuff in the background. The AI does not need to see your desk. Bumping up the contrast a little bit can make that old ink pop, and straightening out a crooked page gives the AI a much cleaner path to follow. Simple stuff, but it works. So we've talked about how to get a good scan of a page of text, but that brings us to a really common question. What about the most unique, most stylized form of cursive there is, the signature? And this is a really important distinction. The AI is usually great at detecting that a signature is there and telling you where it is on the document. But what it generally does not do is try to read it and turn it into a name. To the AI, a signature isn't really text. It's a unique symbolic mark, almost like a little drawing. So if we boil this entire thing down to just one key takeaway, this is it. The point of this tech, at least right now, isn't to be perfect. It's to give you a massive head start. Use the AI to do all the heavy lifting, to do the boring part, and then you come in with your smart human brain to check the work and make the final corrections.
And this leaves us with a pretty cool question to think about for the future. Right now, AI is a tool we use to unlock the information that's trapped inside handwriting. But what happens if it gets perfect? I mean, truly flawless. If any old scribble can be instantly digitized, does the original handwritten letter become more valuable as a unique physical artifact? Or does it become less valuable since it's just another data source? It's a fascinating thought about where all of this is headed.